It's a chilly morning again. I'm so ready for for summer. Any moment. Any moment. So my name's Rita Hickman, and I'm a shiatsu massage therapist, and I'm a body-mind expert, but my specialty, what I really love doing, is helping women who are in narcissistic or toxic relationships really find their way through it. You know, we're able to clear your brain fog and get healthy habits in place and help you find friends and teach you how to better manage your emotions and how to find calm and heal after a narcissist and how to interact with them and how to survive all of the pain and anger and frustration that they bring up in you and how to feel better and really start a whole new chapter of your life. That's my specialty. That's what I love to do. And I've been doing it in one way or another most of my life, but as a career for the last 12 years or so. So today's topic, welcome to the daily live stream, Monday through Friday, 8:15 a.m. CST, right here. Today we're talking about anger and anxiety when dealing with a narcissist. So let's do a little bit of framework right here. A narcissist typically is someone who has so much insecurity, so much anxiety, so much fear, which they've buried really well for whatever reason, either because of temperament or trauma or disassociation or whatever it may be. They're behaving in their mind a way to survive. It's them against everybody else. And the second that you seem like everybody else, then all of their pain and anger, which they've been shoving down because they're nice to everybody else, you know, all the irritations and frustrations, they come out. They come out, and you tend to be the person that it's spewing onto, because you're the one that's there that has given them the experience that they can do this. They can get out their frustrations in this way on you, and then they'll feel better. Isn't that wonderful? They feel better, and by then you feel like a Mack truck just ran you over. So the normal situation you may have is that, you know, you're having a good day, and then suddenly the narcissist gets tired or stressed or traffic irritates them or something, and they suppress it down or they don't say much. And then you, because you're standing there and breathing, have suddenly done something wrong, and the full force of all the aggravation and anxiety is now poured down upon you. It's a pretty lousy situation to be in, actually. So here's the thing. When you look at someone who's in a survival narcissistic situation, they are aggravated and they're looking for reasons to express that aggravation. They're scanning, especially when they're stressed out or tired, when they're not in a good space, when things are a little bit more difficult than normal. They're on the lookout for some way to express this aggravation in order to make themselves feel better, because they're bored or because I don't know, because the weather changed. However, what's the best way to deal with it? I know a lot of you, it blindsides, comes out of nowhere. You're like, what did I do? Where did it come from? How do I respond? Generally speaking, when you're working with someone or talking to someone who's in that state, they are excellent at reading energy. And your anxiety, whether it comes out passive aggressively, whether it comes out through, complete neutrality, no matter what it may be, anger, anything, they'll notice it and they'll feed off of it. It'll give them energy. It'll feed their attitude and their energy and their mood. So it's really not in your best interest to ever sort of not strive to be in as balanced of a place as possible. So how do you prepare for some of these things? One, you do your work ahead of time. You proactively work on unknotting the knots which cause conflict. Why do you react? What's causing you to react? Past wounds or issues that, are still unhealed for you, in order to work through them and talk to people about them and move the physical energy through them. Detox. You need to be doing that proactive work. And as you do more of that work, you'll become more sensitive to your environment. So you're not going to be blindsided. You'll actually see when the mood is coming, long before it gets here, and you'll be able to help course correct. Now, it's not saying you shouldn't get anxious or angry, because that just happens. That just happens. You're going to get anxious. You're going to get angry. It's your nervous system reacting. You don't have control over that. It's just going to flip a switch, and there you're going to be. Which means that a lot of your work needs to be done before your flip gets switched. One of them, as I said, is all that proactive work. Another one is you deciding how you're going to respond. Now, the biggest challenge with dealing with narcissists is that they are a lot meaner than you are. They're perfectly fine doing what they're doing. They feel comfortable and justified doing what they're doing. So if you're going to be anxious or you're going to be angry, you still need to be in that balanced place. You still need to feel grounded, and you're choosing to express your anger or to express your anxiety in a way that hopefully will get through some of their insanity. So usually when they're being crazy, that's not a good time to be anxious or angry. Usually one of the best times to be anxious or angry is at the very beginning, when you just notice a little nip in the air. That's when you decide, you know what, I'm leaving the situation. You can make a point. You can leave and make a point before, while they're in a decent space. But when they're not, you really need to leave. You really need to get out of there, because otherwise they're going to beat you up, and there's nothing that you can do about it except sit there and wait for it. Now, the other option, as I said, is if you do your proactive work, then your spidey senses are going to be good. And if your spidey senses are good, it means you're going to notice the bad mood or the irritation or the frustration long before the narcissist does. And you're going to be like, oh, there's something in the air. And that's when you get to make your decision. You don't have to stand around and be the one that they take it out on. You get to go someplace else. And especially if you go someplace else or do something else before it is more aggravating, before your own anxiety and anger and frustration kicks in, and then you have a whole, temper tantrum du jour going on from them. You're able to notice and course correct. Sometimes with the narcissist, you're able to course correct, nicely that way. But other times you just notice, and you're like, you know what, I think I'll go to the grocery store. You know what, I think I'll go out with blah, blah, blah tonight. But if you catch it early, then you can sort of navigate around this stuff. If you don't catch it early, then being calm, centered, grounded is the best thing that you can do. If you have to drink your tea, if you have to take your CBD, if you have to take your Xanax, if you have to do whatever, being in that grounded space is in your best interests. Later on, of course, you can be anxious and angry, and of course you get to express all of those feelings, but it's not in your best interest to do it to the narcissist. Remember, they're meaner than you are. They are not friendly. They are not safe when they're in this space. So your anger and anxiety, although is righteous and deserved and totally fair, is not in your best interests. It's going to cause much more trauma than you want, and you're going to end up lying on the side of the road, with your heart ripped out of your chest, and the narcissist will feel much better because they got to express themselves. So it's in your best interest to do your proactive work. It's in your best interest to pay attention to your environment, to notice when things are going awry, way before anybody else notices that they're going awry, and to course correct. Do something in your best interest. Leave for the night, without any drama. Just, you know what, I think I'll go visit my sister tonight. Go do that before their anger and aggravation gets to a level where, your fight or flight kicks in because you're angry or hurt or frustrated or confused or aggravated. It's okay to avoid a fight with a bully, okay? Especially if you can't get rid of the bully, and especially if the bully is meaner than you. Now, anger and aggravation and anxiety are very helpful as long as you stay grounded, and as long as the narcissist is in the middle of one of their full-blown craziness. You get to get angry and frustrated when it starts to come up. When it starts to, where you get to make the statement, you know what, I'm leaving, this isn't working well for me. Where you get to decide what experience you want to have. You don't have to be blindsided. So when you get some of these conflicts resolved, when you get some of these wounds healed, It's not that you're walking on eggshells. You don't have to. You just have a heightened awareness of the energy around you, and not in a fight or flight sort of way. Just like, oh, this is interesting. They must be getting tired. How do I want to handle this? How do I want to deal with this? Do I want to stay? Do I want to leave? Do I want to make dinner? Do I want to take Xanax? What do I want to do that will continue to make my day pretty okay, moving on a smooth path, okay? So here's your homework assignment for today. I want you to do some of that proactive work, because trust me, it's really, really helpful. If you give yourself that space to work through your conflict, ask questions in your head, parent yourself, be the person in your head that says, I hear you. You did get screwed over. That isn't fair. I can't believe that happened to you. If you look for outside of yourself for that sort of thing, it'll be hit or miss. 9 times out of 10, you're not going to get the response that you want, but 10 out of 10, you'll get me. And I'll say, you're absolutely right. That's not fair. You were screwed over. You'll get somebody who gets it. But 9 times out of 10, you won't. So it's important to be the person that you need yourself to be the parent, the other voice in your head that says you're okay, you're doing a great job, I'm proud of you, that wasn't fair, you were hurt, you don't deserve this. To be that voice that helps parent you through that emotional time that you're going through, okay? Because you are always with you, always. And you are the only one who can truly love you, always. And when you start to love yourself and surround yourself with people like me, who will be supportive and kind and loving, then you will get that validation that you need. But until then, you have to be that person for yourself. You have to be strong enough that says, you know what, I'm going to love myself enough and reassure myself enough and tell myself that it's okay. And then I'm going to reach out to the Facebook group, to a friend that understands. Maybe I'll journal to work through it. I'll go, get a massage. I'll get some energy work done. I'll, go to the sauna. Do something that loves yourself, because you do deserve it. Okay? So, happy Monday, and I will see you tomorrow. Okay? Bye.